Hear the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me. So alive, make it last forever. Stop in time, yeah, I'll surrender it. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for round number 6 of the ARL MX EU Championship. So, we're here at Southwick. We're going to do a bit of sand surfing tonight. But yeah. So we're going to get right down into it. Let me hop over here. And I'm going to end up showing the monitor. So, as you can see, KFC qualified P1 in the 250 class. We are going to be watching these guys second. Don't know if any of you guys saw it scroll across the bottom, but yeah. Watching it in 250s second. We're going to watch the 450s first. You know, just flip them from last week. You see the points going across the top. So, we have Brad in P2, 5/10 behind KFC. Then Aaron, last week's winner, he went 1-1 at Redbud. Tried to get himself back in this championship. He's up to P3 in this championship. We'll show the points in a little bit. And then you got not Mason. We have to keep an eye on him. He's a newcomer. Have not seen him one bit this year. So that is something to keep an eye out for. And yeah, we'll see. Then you have Murda, Carter, Nicholas, Marco, Gianni, and Slob. And then you go down, you see Marco, Jimmy, AJ, Froxy, Redo, Caden, Ethan, Vix, Svepia, Nacho, Zach, Nico, Ethan, Humbo, Jammer, Ergon, Rico, Jennings, RS, Maxo, Crivions, so on and so forth. All the way to Hervey. Unfortunately, Gurn did not make it through. Then we go to 450 class as I go up. It was Cam, P1, almost over a second faster than TJ, who was almost a second faster than Caden. And then we had Jake, Boy, Trojan, Linz, Mason, Reed, JS7, Frank, Breezy, Marco, Beeden, Aiden, Neon, Callum, Braden, Davey, Crumsy, so on and so forth. Scroll through all the names. Was HM on the SYS machine, getting it done. Yeah, we're already keeping an eye on him in the admins stuff and all that, just because one, he's new, hasn't raced at all this year, and you know, being P4 like that out of nowhere without racing is kind of a telltale sign. But you know, we'll keep an eye out for him. So I try to get some stuff ready for the stream. All right, but now we're gonna go over to points. 450s. It is still Cam P1. He has about a 50-point lead over TJ. Not about, it is a 50-point lead. And then it is 70 to Linz, who only has a 4-point lead to Boy, and a, looks like, 7-point lead to Trojan. So it's a close fight for P3 in this championship. Top 5 is go on all the way down. HM is rounding out your top 10. Just a little bit ahead of Aiden. And then we got whoa, looks like I did not load these guys up. There we go. Now I should be loading them. We got KFC in the PU1. You know, he has a 30-point lead or so. On, is that 30? It could be complete. Nope, 32 to be exact. And then got Aaron. No, you did not miss anything. What do you mean? Like the racing, you have not missed. We have not started yet. We are still in the load-in phase for everyone, going through the points. And Aaron has worked his way up to P3 after that 1-1 from missing round 3. It's been kind of electric coming on. He got the 4th round tie for second, is where he ended up finishing, and then he got the win the following round. So now he is he's 45 down. And so now we're keeping an eye on that. Woodland, who is formerly HW, dropped to 3 points behind Aaron, and then he got Brad, Marco, Murda, Valentine, Humbo, and Ethan rounding outside the top 10. So now we are getting ready for some racing. I'm gonna switch over to this, go to that, and then we're gonna hit that. I know, I know, Travis. I know. I was here for SX, so I do recognize the name. Then he went over to Sim for a bit when he got banned, so. Now we're waiting for them to get the race going. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is the Element FXR team. We got their stuff. Their helmets are working this week at least. Got Breezy in there. That is unfortunately, I'm pretty sure Element FXR is literally the only team that I get kits from still. For 450s, everyone else is 250s. And Zyra FX, who are sponsoring the stream, as you can see in the bottom right. We'll talk about that a little later, but yeah. Almost nobody from the 40 class sends me skins anymore, which kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. We should already be starting, but now we're just kind of waiting as everyone's doing their practice starts. Hopefully we start this thing soon. I think I got it set so you guys won't hear it, but you might end up hearing a fan in the background. Oh, that's trippy. That is because it is hot as balls here. It has been over 100 for the past like 2 or 3 weeks here where I live, which is over 37 Celsius for all the Europeans who are probably watching this. So if it ends up getting too bad, I could always try to adjust it and turn it away. But we're getting ready for 450 mode in 1. Let me put my cheat sheet for stats that I write down. Alright. So, we are getting ready to race. Looks like no updated skins for the SOS team, still rocking the Red Bud bike. But we have Caden, KN, HM, Pumbaa, Aiden, Breezy, Beaton, Frank, Reed, J7, Jake, a bunch of the Element FXR boys getting ready to take off. Gate is down. Who gets a good jump here? It looks like more from the middle, maybe outside. It looks like Cam is out there. But TJ is going to get into the first turn first, but get pushed out wide. Breezy's going to sneak up the inside. And he's looking to take the whole shot here early. See him lead him down the start straight and across the whole shot line. It was either Blue or Breezy there for the whole shot, but they got JS7 right there with Corley. TJ is in the mix with Foden. Around the outside goes Breezy. Into the lead he goes, trying to make an early statement after riding great last week at Red Bud. He's trying to do it once again here in Southwick with Corley right on his tail. Covering the inside here. Corley almost misses it, but Blue and LaFloden are moving up closely. Then we got JS7 in here. Oh, Corley down over the bars he goes. And LaFloden and JS7 is going to sneak on by. JS7 into the P3 spot here. TJ up to P5. Looks like Blue goes down. TJ gets by. Linz kind of gets caught up. Allows Jake and Dark on by him along with Aiden. Then we even have Davey. All the Element FXR boys are catching up here. Then we got Axel, Ozire, FX, Linz, and Davey get into it. And they get hooked together. And they both go down just like that. Looks like the Floden takes a fall here. Along with Jake getting kind of cut off by Dark there. And through they go into the big old sweeping turn here of TJ trying to catch J7 and make the pass with Breezy just up ahead in the lead. And off the track a little bit for TJ, trying to get himself back in his championship as Cam is in P20. So he is down the order, just barely getting in to a points paying position here. This TJ is going to come across line P2 to start the lap. It looks like Breezy's still leading the way, but TJ has 2 seconds of cuts. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that as they go through this. Just had to fix something. And through we go down the whole shot line. We'll see if TJ can close in on Breezy to make a pass for the lead here. J7 right behind him, so TJ's got 2 Element FXR riders around him, leading the way and in P3 as he's trying to hold on to P2. Like I said, with those 2 seconds cuts early on are not going to suit him towards the end if it becomes a close one all the way through, but just have to keep an eye on that one. Let's take a look down the order. You see Trojan is up to 22, and even further down, got HM. He's in the last place spot right now on track. These 3 have started to check out, but there is a battle for 4th. Anyone watch 250s? Unfortunately, I have no idea if there is or not. I don't know if anyone's streaming their POV, but we got Aiden here leading the way over Braden and Axel with Reed right behind him. And then you got Boy, Neon. It's about a 6-rider battle here for P4 as Axel goes over the outside berm there. Don't know if he had a little bit of help or not, but So far, Aiden is the front of this group, but he has a second to cut, so he's a little bit further down than he would like. With Braden putting on the pace, keeping it close to him on the 729 machine. Up into P4 after cuts are applied with Aiden. Looks like Reed got some of his own, so Aiden is now getting passed by Braden on track for P4, with Aiden now falling down to P5 on track, and that's where he is on timing and scoring, with everyone behind him having cuts as well. Down the mechanics area. Reed still has Neon right behind him, along with Boy. Boy does have 4 seconds of cuts, so even if he makes some passes, it isn't going to help him as Braden gets a little squirrely. Boy does as well. Ooh, tire goes outside of the rut there, made him slide a little bit. Aiden blocks the line from Reed. Reed tried to get some gas going to it, and I think his front tire got caught on Aiden's rear. So Neon gets by both of them because of it. And Boy is able to get by, but like I said, those 4 seconds of cuts are not helping him. And then we finally see Cam, your points leader, who has, looks like, 3 seconds of cuts. But already up to P8 with, it looks like, Braden down. His teammate, and he gets into him. Now they're both down out of this corner. Axel's going to go by. Jake's going to go by. Troy's going to go by as well. It looks like Lynn's not close enough to make anything happen, but he's still going to be right there behind him. So Braden going down there ultimately hurt his teammate of trying to move forward here quickly. Now he has to do some work and repass a lot of these guys that he already passed a lap beforehand. With Lynn's trying to hold on as Breezy has a 4-second lead. I think it's up to about 6 with, nope, it's up to 4 with the cuts. Oh, it might be going up. Keep an eye on that timing up there for the lead between Breezy and TJ and JS7. Looks like JS7 got by him, so it's up to 6 seconds now. Keep an eye on Lynn's and Cam, who Lynn's got a moto win last week, won the second moto here at Redbud. Cam won another overall. I think he got the overall. It could have been, no, it was Jake that got the overall. Oh, and Cam tucks the front end here on the inside. So Braden's going to go by him. Is Fish close enough? I don't think he is. He might get a drive, though, on him. But Cam still kept his podium streak alive. He's only finished outside the top 3 once, and I think that was at Thunder Valley, or it could have been, might have been actually last week at Moto 1. I think he got 4th. So last week, Moto 1, I think, is the only time he's finished off the podium this year in a Moto. And now he looks to be struggling here in the sand. On that Moto Academy machine, we're going to go forward here to TJ, who's up to Breezy and ahead of him, but his cuts are not going to let him keep that lead. So he's got to pull away from Breezy here. He's got to get a 3-second gap to get the lead from him, as Breezy has no cuts there. Just keeping an eye on Breezy here, see if he could hang on to TJ. Coming up to the finish line here. TJ ran a 59.9. Breezy ran a 2:01.4. These guys are both on the move here, but sorry, that is their fastest laps. Let's see if I can bring up their past lap. Okay, 59.9 was still his, and Breezy not even there. So Breezy did have a crash. It wasn't just straight up pace that TJ caught him. So I have to keep an eye on that, see if TJ can pull away. But we're going to go back here to JS7. Nope, it's Neon now into P3. Boy, P4. JS7 fell all the way down to P9 while we were watching that. Reed All good. And then it's Reed up to P4 because he has Boy on cuts. Then we got Linz, Axel, and Jake. Axel letting him by. He's not a lapper, but probably just felt their pace. 250 Moto 1 is not. It is going on right now. They're going at motos go on at the same time, so don't know yet who won 250 Moto 1. If they didn't go at the same time, we'd be here for probably about 5 hours, which I know they don't want to run it for 5 hours. I know these guys don't want to sit waiting for 5 hours, and I don't want to stream for 5 hours, so. Yeah, you didn't miss much. Only 10 minutes of this race. So we're going to keep an eye on these guys as they go through. Yeah, yeah. I figured I can't get into that, so. So we got Neon, Breezy. We're going to keep an eye on all these guys, and it's going to probably hook on at GS7 as he's about to come by. You see, there is Jake, and then you got Cam, and then there is a JS7. I turned off the director mode, so we gotta let that sit. I'll wait here. I'll wait here for them to go by. They do pro-am races. They're held at the same time as this. It is just whatever it is. Hard to think of it. It's everyone who doesn't qualify. So yeah, they do pro-ams. It's just at the same time. You see JS7 here. Looks like Cam has fallen down even more. Yeah, if this will work. Hopefully my settings didn't get reset. They probably did. So. Well, it's supposed to be switching over to the cameras, but it's not working right now. So, I'm just going to do this on the fly. As you see the notification in the chat, it's going to pop that up a little bit. The stream is sponsored by Zyre FX, powered by Moto Options. There's a crash there between Linz and someone. Damn, how'd they end up over here? Oh my God, what happened there? All right, we'll figure that out in a bit. But anyways, we're gonna go back to it. The stream is proudly sponsored by Zyre FX, powered by Moto Option. If you're looking for custom graphics within the MX bike scene, whether it's bike graphics, team packages, pit boards, gear, or other custom work, make sure to check them out. Zyre FX, performance in every detail. And if you use code Talon20, that is Talon with one L, all capitalized, you get 20% off your next purchase at Zyre FX. It is a one-time use per person, and it is used until Monday. So you have until Monday to use that if you want to get some graphics, 20% off by using the code Talon20 with one L for Talon. So, guys feel like getting some graphics going, you could end up using that. As we're going to get back to the racing action, trying to follow Cam, who's only up to 11th place as he had a crash. It looked like as Linz also had one with Reed. So I think that is them right in front of him. So don't know what fully happened there between those two, but I assume it's something similar to see Jake down, last week's overall winner. Probably something similar to what happened to Linz in the first lap, where he just got hooked with someone like glue and slung all the way to the left side of the track. As now it is JS7 just ahead of him. So we'll see if Linz can make the pass on JS7 here. He does have 3 seconds of cuts compared to JS7's 1. And then Cam does have 4 seconds compared to Linz's 3. So, got to keep an eye on this as Linz tucks the front end. Down he goes. Just like that. So there's even more time to Jake there. Goes by him. We're catching up to Reed in the P5. Haven't seen Reed much this year. Don't even think he has a podium in a moto this year. Does not look like it. So, keep an eye on Reed. According to him, this is a retirement race or retirement stream. One of the two. We'll see. We'll see with Reed. It's always something new with him, so we'll keep an eye on him. But he's doing a solid ride here in P5 on that black rifle machine. Pax, another week of not sending me skins for him. Let's keep an eye on that. But we're going to follow up all the way to P1. So we got Neon, who was P2. But now he's down to P3, and he goes down once again. Does Reed go into him? He slows up, cuts down, barely misses him. So he's not going to be ahead of Neon because of his cuts. Neon does have 2 now. So we're going to fight these guys up the track, because it looks like there is Breezy in P2 on timing and scoring, because he has no cuts compared to Boys 5, who is ahead of him on track, but behind him on timing and scoring. And then he got TJ, the Sand Surfer himself, up there about 18 seconds in the clear of Breezy on track, but it's 14 on timing and scoring. It might be up to 18 now after his crash. Maybe it's 17, something like that. So we'll just keep an eye on that. So TJ not holding anything back in this one, trying to get himself back into this title fight. He is 50 down, like I said, but with Cam struggling through the pack, it is helping him out a bunch to gain some points. Right now, he's going to be gaining, if math is mathing, 7, 8. He's going to be gaining 9 points on Cam. This looks like Jake got by Neon as well, which should put him ahead of Cam. So that would give TJ another point as Neon pushes Jake off the track. So bring it up to 10. Right, now Jake trying to make pass. I don't know if that's them doing it on purpose or the game just being weird, but their numbers are not there right now. But you zoom into them, and they sort of fade in on their back of their jerseys. Oh, and Neon tucks front end. Jake gets on by, and here comes JS7. Where's Cam? There's Linz. Did Cam already go by? Damn, Cam already went by. All right, looks like we missed Cam, so Cam is up to P5. That's one less point for TJ to gain, which gains 8 points. Man, you would not know that English was my first language, how much I fuck it up. All right. So Cam still charging, catch up to Boy and Reed, who is up to P2 for Reed, Boy P3. Cam now up to P4, and a Breezy, who's P5. Look at fast laps. How are these guys? So Linz has the fastest lap. It's a 10th quicker than TJ out front. Linz is doing that in traffic. Then you got Cam, who's 7/10 slower than TJ, while also in traffic. Then Neon, Boy, Caden, Frank, and Braden for your fastest laps of the race. And we're going to look at the last lap fastest, which was Cam, who was almost a second quicker than TJ. So he's on the move here, making passes, trying to get into P2. It looks like Boy is down, so that's another spot for Cam. And now he's going to make the pass on Reed, and that's another spot into P2 goes Cam. So even with all those crashes, he is still getting into P2 on the racetrack. I don't know if he could catch up to TJ. He's got 12 minutes and 2 laps to gain about 30 seconds on him. So that's going to be a close one. But Reed with the solid P3 so far. We'll see if he could hang on to it. He's got a big gap all the way back to, I think that is Boy and Breezy up. And then Jake, so the 3 Element FXR boys. All getting it done here, battling for the top 5 position. Down the straight here. Down the inside goes Jake. Doesn't look like he could make anything happen there, so he's going to look down the inside once again. Gets the rut. Boy makes a mistake on the exit. Both of his teammates get on by him. And through they both go. Jake looking up the inside of Breezy. Don't know if he can make the pass. He won't be ahead of him on timing and scoring, just on track. But they're all following each other here. And Breezy tucks the front end here on the turning rollers. So it's Jake and Boy are going to be ahead of him now. Jake almost makes a mistake. Boy has to check up. Jake puts the hand up. Now we'll see what Boy can do here, if he can make a pass. He's just going to settle behind him. If you look at timing and scoring, it looks like Cam has already brought down 10 seconds of the gap. So that is not what he wants to see for TJ. So TJ had a crash just recently. So now he shows Cam was 1 second quicker last lap. We're keeping an eye on this battle here between the two teammates of Jake and Boy. Their teammate Breezy is just a little bit behind after a crash. And Boy goes down there. Don't know if he took the front end or he just hit a deep spot here in the rough. And it gave him a legs off. Put up the go to Jake. And then Reed's just up the way here. And he's actually not too far behind Cam, but gotta go faster to catch up to him and stay with him. So we'll take a look at the last lap times to see for sure that there's probably a crash, because I'm guessing there was, as you go to that. And TJ is nowhere to be found on there. So yeah, there was a crash from your leader right now. And then Cam P2 right there. And then it is Reed P3. P4 for Jake. We're going to go back even further. It's going to be a P5 for Boy, P6 for J7 as it stands right now. P8 for Linz, 9th for Breezy, but Breezy still has him on cuts. So this is the battle for 7th, it looks like, actually. And then it's 9th for Axel on the Zyre FX machine. With Aiden up to P10. Look at that, trying to get his first top 10. I think it could be, it could not be. I could be completely wrong on that, but seems like he's always around that top 10 bubble. With Fish up to P10. Now he's ahead of Aiden because of Aiden's cuts. And then 12th for Chromesy, 13th for Robo, 14th for Braden, who was up front early, 15th Neon, who was also in P2 early, and Troy, 16th, trying to get on by him. Oh my god, they both just get sent. Trojan tried sending it in there, so that allows HM and Frank to get on by. We got LaFloden, Marco, Mason, and then TJ, your leader. So he's almost lapped up to 27th. Oh yeah, there's no change in that for those two. Hold on to her, Mason. 7 minutes plus 2 laps, so it's looking like about 8 laps to go, maybe 9. I do not know how the 250s are looking. What's up, Parker? How's it going, my man? Able to breathe up there in all the smoke. We'll see TJ trying to lap Mason here. Yeah. Not it. It wasn't as bad, but it was smoky here where I live from the Utah fires. All the fires from there basically came all the way over where I live, and fucking I was in the worst of it. Wasn't as bad, but almost. Was raining little bits of ash. Alright, so we're going to go back on the field. You see Marco just got lapped. Looks like Caden retired in P18. On SPX. Not back to Cam yet. There's Cam. 24 seconds back. I think it'll be up to 25 because he has that extra second of cuts over TJ. And then Reed still holding on to P3. 4 for Jake, 5 for J7, 6 for Boy, and then you got Linz here chasing down the Element FXR boys. Well, normally I feel like I would know who you're talking about, Parker, but I've just been rewatching Harry Potter, so the first thing that popped in my mind was Voldemort. From you saying that. So Lynn's trying to make a pass on Boy here. Lynn's almost goes over the bars. Yeah, it's fire season, all right. With Lynn still trying to make a pass on Boy and J7 here. Outside for Lynn's. See if he can make anything happen. He's got 2 potential passes right here. He's already ahead of Boy because of Boy having 8 seconds of cuts compared to Lynn's 3. Linz does have to be ahead of Jake by 1 second to be ahead of J7. He's already close to Jake. He's got to be within a second of Jake, and he's got to be 1 second ahead of J7. Man, these guys making me do math with all their cuts. Simple math, but oh yeah, that's how it was fucking here, dude. Yeah, mine was probably like where's all that smoke and then elevation absolutely killing me. So now he has all 3 Element FXR boys ahead of him for Linz. That could be his chance to get up to P4. We'll see if he can make any passes here. This is really one of the only exciting fights. I think there's one for P8, but, you know, battle for P4 seems a little bit more interesting. Higher points ping. As Boy goes off the track, that might give him another second of cuts. Linz tries to stay far left of him. Scrubs on by, and now he's ahead of him on track as well. So now he has to catch the other 2 Element FXR boys. J7 and Jake. I think if he passes J7 on track, I think he'll have Jake on timing and scoring. Across the line they go. Let's see what Linz can do. He's got to be ahead of J7 by a second to be ahead of him on timing and scoring. These 3 are nose to tail here coming to the mechanics area. Scrub and lowers Lynn, staying to the right, absolutely scrubbing it. J7's face. Trying to go around the outside here. We'll see if he has the drive. He does. Makes the pass on track. Goes by Lynn. Someone is down up here. That is Mason, a lapper. Oh, they somehow, none of them go down to Lynn's. Not expecting Jake to be going slow in the main line. Gets right into him. And gets by him on track. So just like that, Lynn's is up into P4. And he has Reed right ahead of him for P3. So it's almost a fight to get into the podium spot for Linz. He's trying to go around the outside of Reed here. All of a sudden, makes the pass on him on track. Can Reed fight back? He tried going down the inside. Could not make it happen. And now, just like that, Linz, in a matter of a couple turns, goes from P6 all the way up to P3 on track. Don't know what happened to Reed to make him fall down. Probably a crash. Don't know if it was with anyone or not, or if he just tucked it by himself. But now the fight is on for P3, the final podium position here between Linz, JS7, Jake, Reed, and I think they lost Boy in this fight. So this is the fight to keep an eye on. Final podium position for the moto with a minute and 2 laps left to go. So it's going to be 3 laps for these guys to fight it out to see who gets that final podium position. Reed in the mix here of the Element FXR boys in between them all. JS7 has 2 less seconds of cuts than him, so that's keeping him ahead, but Reed needs to get past Jake. That's going to give him a P5 as he makes a mistake out of the corner. Could not get a good drive. JS7 is keeping a close touch with these guys. Looks like boy is starting to fall back to breezy there. As Linz is starting to pull away from this group, give himself a bit of breathing room. As like I said, Reed trying to make anything happen here. With JS7 right behind him. So time has expired, so coming to the 2 laps to go for your leader of TJ. It's going to bring these guys all to it as well. So this is Foden in the final points paying position over Davey, who are both a lap down now. And I missed it, and Linz is trying to toss it all away. So I was looking down our leaderboard. So Linz down into P6 again. So now has to redo all the work that he just did to pass JS7, Reed, and Jake. And they both just make it easy on him. All right. Not that difficult as it was the first time. Got both Reed and Jake in one corner. Sorry, Reed and JS7. So Linz has to be a second ahead of JS7 to be ahead of him on timing and scoring. And they has to go back up and catch up to Jake, as now Cam is down 30 seconds on TJ. So maybe TJ might have crossed the line beforehand to make it 3 laps to go instead of 2. Because normally the 2 laps to go board would be up by now on the timing and scoring. I guess not. Jake was the quickest last lap. And still the fastest of all time was Lynn. So he had the fastest lap of the race. But now he has to charge catch up to Jake right there. This is the fight we're watching, as it looks like Jake is catching up to Cam, who is stuck behind a lapper. So this could even be a fight for P2, as Cam has 2 more seconds of cuts than Jake and Linz. So he might even fall out of the top 3 if he does not keep the pedal to the floor here in these final closing moments of Moto number 1 of the 450 class. Could be the second time that he finishes off the podium here in a Moto. Going off track. These guys are both 40 seconds down off of your leader of TJ. As now it looks like Jake is around Cam as he slowed up just that tiny bit. But it's just barely ahead of him by 4/10. Well, you say that now, just... Yeah, you say that now. And white flag, so it looks like timing does not... Well, looks like my timing thing at the top is not showing whenever it says 2 laps to go like it normally does, so... To fix that out. But Cam trying to stay ahead of Jake here, as looks like Salty Boy goes down ahead of Jake, and Linz, I don't think he's close enough to make anything happen here, but Cam is up to 7 seconds of cuts. So now we got to see if he can catch up. I'm watching Corley instead of Jake. Catch up to Cam, who's right there. He's still ahead of him. He's got to stay within that 3-second mark. Cam is down in the main line. Jake hits him, does not go down. Has to go over there. Now Linz is close enough, so now it's going to be a chance for Linz to get in P3 and Cam to fall outside of the top 3. As they're scrubbing here, it is white flag. TJ is going to take the win here in 450 Moto number 1. That is going to be his 3rd Moto win of the year. So good on TJ in dominant fashion too. 40 seconds ahead of these guys. We'll see. Linz is ahead of Cam on timing and scoring. He has a 3-second buffer. I know he does not run a standings, I'm pretty sure, so he does not know that he has Cam. He's just trying to beat him to the line. But he's going to be ahead of him, but he has that 3-second buffer. He's not going to be close enough to Jake, so Jake's going to come across the line in P2. Cam going down the inside trying to take out Linz. Absolutely suffers. Karma's a little bit of a bitch there to Cam, and Linz going to come across the line P3, so Cam P4. And it's going to be a P5 for Reed if he could hold on ahead of JS7. He cannot. So JS7 is going to even beat Cam, so Cam's going to fall to P5 by trying that takeout. And Reed P6. So Breezy's going to come across the line P8, but be ahead of Boy, who has 9 seconds of cuts. We'll see if Braden's ahead of him. I don't think so. So 9th for Braden and a 10th for Axel of the ZyFX machine. This 450 is out of the way as Troy's going to come across the line P12. And you see everyone down the order there. Neon's going to come across the line either 15th or 16th. There's Aiden, going to be 13th, 14th for Chromesy. Whew. 15th for Floatin, 16th for Frank. Might be 17th for Neon. Dark's going to beat him, and Frank's it's going to 16th Frank down to 17th. 18th for Neon, 19th for Fish, 20th for Davey, and 21st for Bedin. Blue, Marco, Salty Boy, and Corley, the only 4 that finished that did not score points. Everyone else is retired. So, there goes that. Now we're going on to watch 250 Moto number 2. Did Murder get the W? Just his picture. See if I can load in quick enough. Are we running motos back to back? Are we running motos back to? Hold on. Wait. It's not ready. It's not ready. If we are, I'm not ready. Nope, that ain't it. That's wrong. That's it. That's it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. We better not be actually starting this. This feels. There's no way. All right. Well, this if. Yep. Oh. All right. We're gonna say this is. I have no clue if it isn't. But we're gonna run with it. Say this is Moto 2. It happened pretty dang quickly, right after the other. But Mert is gonna lead the whole shot here with Froxy and Redo sending it. So Murda leading the way here early. Up into the tree section. Froxy's going to be just right behind him. Then we got Brad in P3. Murda's going to be P4. Brad looking down the inside of Murda. Sorry, I was reading that wrong, but Froxy into the early race lead over Brad. And then we have Murda P3. And we have Carter P4. So is this Moto 1 or Moto 2? Okay. Holy shit. All right. I should have some time. To show this, but all right. That thing's in the way, so I'm gonna put it up a little bit. That way we can see that. When I hopped in, these were the results. I have no clue if they're right or not. So if they are, all of our contenders are just shit the bed last moto. But these are the results that were showing whenever I popped in. So I'm just gonna yeah, I'm just gonna hold this up for now because because I am assuming. Okay, so these are wrong. I gotta find a different one then. All right, cool. Because I was like that don't look right. Hold on, I'm gonna go back to the screen. Hmm. Hmm. Now we're just here waiting. All right, we should be starting any time now, so just kind of keeping an eye out. Let me check something. I already forgot what I was gonna do. Oh yeah. All right, there we go. Back. Let me swap to that for you guys. Ooh, hooray! Time to watch some racing, boys. 250 mid in number 2. All right. Oh. There we go. I don't know Moto 1 scores, so we won't really know overall, unfortunately, but we're going to do estimation. We got Caden, Jimmy, AJ, Ethan, Froxy, Brad, KFC, Marco, Carter, Marco, damn, 2 Marcos. Redo, Dan's, RS, Murda, Rico, Ragnar, Nacho, Ethan, Jake, Yanni, Vepia, Zach, Nico, Aaron, Maxo, Ollie, Roy, Herfy, Vix, and all the way on the outside is Aragon. So, time to watch some racing, boys. Time to get her going. Revs her up. KFC, your points leader, waiting for the gate drop. Someone spinning the tire over there. Gates down. Who gets a good jump here? Looks more from the outside. It's Aaron of SKR getting it done. Sweeping around the outside. Everyone gets pushed wide. It's going to be Aaron, Brad. Looks like Froxy, AJ, Marco, KFC. Both the Marcos are up there. But Aaron is going to get the whole shot here. See if he can add another win to his tally. But Brad and AJ are going to ship the inside. Marco's going to get by him. KFC, everyone just going past Aaron there. And AJ trying to get to the lead here. Brad's going to take the line away into the early race lead. Goes Brad ahead of Marco of Zyre FX. With AJ and KFC leading the way ahead of those 4. Then we got Aaron just behind them. So through we go on the racing. We got Brad here leading the way early. So I swap over to figure out my, get my stat sheet ready for me. But Brad leading the way. Ahead of AJ, KFC, Aaron, Marco, and Jay Gianni are up in the mix here. With Aaron up to 4th after that early hole shot. And KFC and AJ get into it. AJ down on that moto option machine. With Aaron now up to P3. We'll see if he can make the pass on your points leader of KFC. These guys 1 and 3 in the championship. Froxy's 2nd, but he's down in P20 right now. Aaron cutting over on Jay Gianni, trying to not give him any room. Scrubs to keep the inside line here. All of them follow in. Aaron swings out wide, so Jay Gianni looking up the inside, takes the line away, sends him wide, and he even misses the rut himself by taking Aaron out of that rut, not letting him get into it. And Zeppia gets past Aaron as well, so sand might not be Aaron's forte here, as Redbud and High Point were. So KFC, your points leader, holding on strong. He will most likely retain the points lead unless he had an absolutely horrendous moto number 1. As is Jay Gianni right behind him. Looking down the inside goes Jay. Makes the pass into P2. He goes. KFC tries to cut back under him. They collide. Neither of them go down. That might have been a little bit of net code that we saw that they didn't. So KFC is trying to look down the inside. Jay cannot make the pass. Tries to square up under him. Can he make the pass this time? He is ahead of him. Had the inside line as Jay had to swing outside from having the inside going into the jump. Now KFC back into P2 on track. Jay Gianni right behind him. Marco's RFX. So we have Aaron and Zeppia following right behind them. As Jay Gianni looking to go down the right-hand side, KFC scrubs into him. Neither of them go down. They're fighting hard. Inside for KFC, outside for Jay. Who gets the better drive? They come together once again. They're both still up. Jay sends him to the outside line and does not make the line himself on the inside. So KFC is trying to go down the inside here. And absolutely forces him wide. It takes him down. If you're going to force somebody outside a line, it's probably best that you take the line you're trying to take away from them. But that is the second time this moto that Jay does not. He absolutely sends it. Takes himself wide along with the other rider. And KFC was having none of it and took him down just like that. And now he's out of his way. So now Marco is up into P3 with Aaron in P4. Then you see Zeppia. And then here comes Jay. Probably a little mad about that takeout there, but he was trying to do it to others, and down he goes himself, tucking the front end on the roughness. AJ and Nacho get on by him. It looks like Murda tried to, but he absolutely sends himself off the track. And Rico and Herfy trying to get on by him. Then you got Murda. Redo is in with, looks like, Nicholas. These two are kind of hooked up there, and then you got Aragon as well. So Aaron gets ahead of Marco here, coming down the mechanics area into P3 he goes. Trying to get as many points as he can on KFC. Like I said, we don't know what happened first moto. With, unfortunately, the timing scoring being a little messed up as I joined. Ooh, hold on to it, Aaron. Might get some cuts from that. Marco around the outside. Can he make the pass on him? Trying to. Has the inside line. Going to go into the roughness. Bounces out. Does not get a drive. And Aaron's going to take the line away from him. They're side by side here. Aaron around the outside he goes. Can he get the momentum? Marco has the line. He's going to cut across, and into P3 goes Marco once again on that 19 machine. Marco of ZareFX, I think, is Zaire himself from Supercross in the past couple rounds. So if I remember correctly, he did have number 19. But now KFC right in the back of Brad. So Brad had some mistakes. So now it is a fight here for the lead between the defending champ and the current points leader here at Southwick in Moto number 2. Can KFC get a drive? Looks like he had a tiny mistake there. Cannot make anything happen. So now Brad has a little bit of breathing room here. Not a lot, but just a little bit. Just enough to give himself some time to breathe. KFC looking down the far inside of that rut. Trying to find anywhere that's smooth, it looks like. But now he's still trying to get ahead of Brad, get another moto victory on the air, which would put him up to 4. Unless Aaron got a moto win last time, it would give him the sole lead of the most moto wins on the year. So we'll see as Marco P3 just set the fastest lap. And more people behind him are setting quicker and quicker laps. With KFC getting 2 seconds of cuts, though, last lap, so that's not going to help him out any. Try and pass Brad. So we're keeping an eye on this battle between the leader and P2 of KFC. Like I said, one of them is your points leader, which is KFC on the Honda. You see on the timing and scoring, he's got the red plate. And then you got Brad, who is your defending champion. That's why he has the number 1. So these two, arguably the best riders past 2 years. You know, Brad last year obviously winning. KFC in the points lead now. Now, Brad won this title last year, which started his chain of 3 titles in a row by winning the SMX playoffs last year. And then he also won the 250 East title this year. So he's trying to repeat, get it a 4th one, but he is 57 points down when coming into this round at Southwick, which is a pretty big feat to go with, I believe it's 6 rounds to go, including this one. So it's no small task to catch up and get himself in his title fight, but it's doable. It's just going to be pretty difficult. Oh, it's KFC almost goes over the bars there, scrubbing a little too hard. Rode the front tire a little bit. Around the outside he goes. Looks like Aaron got into P3 just behind these guys back here with Zvepia getting into P4. There, so it's SKR 1, 2, 3. Looks like Skirt has not been sending in the skins, so we'll have to wait on those. You got Zvepia and Marco Zarafex and Moto Culture. Then we have Jay Gianni. And then we have Nacho of Overdrive in P6, or sorry, 7. AJ of Moto Option in 8th. Carter of TH Visuals in 9th. And Nico in 10th on that AEO machine. With Marco of Strata battling him for P10 as they're side by side with Nico having some cuts. And Marco Strata is going to get ahead of him on track. So Brad's still leading the way to KFC. So keep an eye on this battle as we're almost 20 minutes into the moto, and just like last moto, gonna say this again. As we do have sponsors on the streams now. First one going to be Zyre FX. This stream is proudly sponsored by them, which is powered by Moto Option. If you're looking for custom graphics in the MX bike scene, whether that's bike graphics, team packages, pit boards, gear, or other custom work, make sure to go check them out. Zyre FX, performance in every detail. And if you weren't here earlier, and you are now, if you use code TALON20, you get 20% off your next purchase at Zyre FX. That is 1 use per person, and I believe it is valid until Monday. So you have until then. It is TALON20 with 1L to get that 20% off with Zyre FX. Get some custom, a bit of anything almost, maybe except for models, but yeah, get a bit of anything. Custom work done. Get your own name and number on a gear bike. Go right out there in some leagues. But back to the action here. Still no changes up front for your leader of Brad over KSC. See the little ski jump there. I'm going to scroll back up so I can see my stats. All right. Desires. Yeah, I'll get that later. So, like I said, coming into this one, KSC is your points leader. He had a 32-point lead over Froxy. Both these titles are getting a bit blown out of the water. Last week definitely helped KSC over Froxy. Them having 2 bad motos. And Aaron, oh, and over the bars he goes, looking like Sasha Kunin going down here. Where's the goggles? He dropping the goggles off? Nope, not doing that. But KFC holding on here. Yep, the main is live right now. We're watching 250s because they are not staggered. If you would like to watch, I know there's a couple people streaming it. I think, obviously, Lynn's streaming it. Reed might be streaming it on Twitch. Don't know about how many others are streaming their POVs, not commentating, as none of us would like to sit here for 5 hours for an ARL night. But KFC's still holding on strong. He's now 9 seconds back. He got a big lead to Marco, who was formerly Zaire. As it's actually Aaron ahead of him, with Marco and Zvepia now falling down to P4 and 5, with Aaron up to P3 here. So now we just got to keep an eye on these guys here, see what they could do. And even Nacho and AJ are closing in, and they're bringing some company of Carter and Jay Gianni as well. These guys are starting 30 seconds back the front of them, all the way down. It looks like Aaron has 3 seconds of penalties. I did not notice. That's why he's behind these guys on timing and scoring. Gonna check these guys out. Seeing if any of those can make passes. It's all kind of followed the leader here. The only guy I really saw making passes was KFC. Everyone else, they probably made passes, but I just wasn't here to see them. But KFC was making them quickly. All these other guys kind of not gaining as much time as quickly. You know, you got Nacho and Zvepia battling back here. As Marco's RFX is down, and you got AJ Carter and Jay Gianni trying to get all by him. See if they can around the outside for Jay Gianni. Gets the drive. Looking up the inside, they both go, but just like that, that's a matter of about 5 spots. He loses there by going down in that one section. Let's back up to the front of this group. It is Carter and Nacho, and then you got those 3 battling there. For, I believe, it is P6. It looks like Marco trying to go down the inside. AJ middle and Jay Gianni around the outside. Getting a drive on Carter here. Looking on the inside of him. Makes pass on by him. And those 2 collide. Carter does not go down. But Marco gets kind of hung up on it. So it's Jay Gianni with AJ and Nacho battling up here. Thank you for the follow, guys. Just always. Just Nacho is lagging a little bit. It's probably just the EU to NA internet that I have. Nacho trying to hold off Jay Gianni here. See, as I think that's Vepi up ahead. Yes, it is. So get Jay Gianni trying to make some passes here. Keeping an eye on this close battle. Now it's reaching up to P4 as Aaron has started to pull away up into P3. Oh, Nacho mistake. Heard him trying to shift there, and he gets all kinds of hung up. Marco is off the track. AJ is going to get by him. Both of them do. And then Carter, he does not have enough pace to get on by him right now, but we'll see if he has a slingshot. He has a drive down the start straight. Goes around the outside, makes the pass. Nacho cannot defend it quick enough, and through he goes. So just like that, tiny mistake, didn't even crash, but down he goes from, I think, a possible 4th all the way down into P, it looks like 9 maybe. Going to go past these guys. Going to go up, see if anyone's battling. It is Zvepia and Jay Gianni battling for P4 here. Zvepia tries to cut underneath. He gets it done cleanly. Get back ahead of him for P4. They're side by side here. Scrubs by as Jay Gianni having a better drive. Inside for Zvepia. I think that line's as valuable as it would be for the 450s having more power. The 250s just don't got enough in the sand here to hold on, but these guys are fighting hard. So through they go. So we are watching and waiting here. You guys' battle might be done for P4, but there might be a chance at P3 for these guys with Aaron just up the way up over there on his SKR machine. Well, we got about 12 minutes to go. Looks like battles are starting to stagger out, so we're going to go up and see if we could find our leader. There's your second place. Here's your leader, Brad. These two all alone on this part of the track, pretty much. But Brad, your leader, lost some time, had probably some mistakes, but I think KFC might have had some of his own. So KFC P2. Then you got to go a long ways back on the track all the way over here to find Aaron in P3. And it's P4 for Jay Gianni. P5 is going to be for Zvepia. P6 is going to be for Marco of ZyRFX. P7 is going to be Carter. 8 for AJ. 9th is going to go all the way back to Murda of AEO. 10th is going to be Rico. 11th, Nacho. 12th, Redo. 13th, Marco and Froxy battling here for 13th. So, battle right there for them too. 15th for Vix. 16th for Caden of ZyRFX. 17th for Ethan. 19th for Aragon. 20th for Nico, 21st for Ethan of Moto Option, and looks like up to 20th for well, yeah, I probably shouldn't have been watching earlier, right? That's my bad. And we finally see Brad again, so he's lapped. Sorry, there's only 23 in the race with people retiring. Love to see it. You could spend over 1,000 hours grinding to get into pros, but you can't spend 30 minutes battling for 20th place. So you retire. Love to see it. See some people retire because the game just fucks them, like Neon had a couple times in Supercross. But most of the time it is just people getting over it within the first 10 minutes. Yeah, 2047, 2055, 2058, and then 2 seconds quicker than anyone else is those guys. And these are last laps. Same thing. Top 4 good. Everyone else, absolutely not. With Jay Gianni going a second quicker. So Brad has no cuts. KFC has 2, so even if he passes Brad somehow, he's supposed to beat him by 2 seconds. He has 9 minutes and 2 laps to do that. Silently watching because there's not much to commentate on. These two videos have kind of spread out a bit. Made this really hard to commentate. Just kind of watching your points leader. He's on the Honda, of course. As Brad makes mistakes, so now it is on right here. And now KFC around the outside makes a pass to Brad going down, so they have to pull away by 2 seconds. Put the hands up did not mean to fully cut him off if they made contact. Brad gets drive looking down the inside. Cannot make the move. So just like that, I said this is kind of getting boring, and these guys make it interesting for me. Like I said, 2 seconds what KFC needs to get into the lead. But Brad holding on strong here. SKR teammates keeping it steady. Like I said, it's an SKR 1, 2, 3. Brad off the track, that might give him cuts, so that might help out KFC here to get the moto victory. as I fly into the banner. So these guys keeping it close. Brad right behind him. So he's trying to keep it close. We'll see. He was putting in some good laps over KFC. They were keeping it about even, so it wasn't necessarily one guy faster than the others. Just mistakes got to Brad, and that helped KFC get on by him. There's Herfy. Fine, even though he's the last person, he's in last place on track, he is still going to get a point because everyone from 22nd on down has retired from the race. Give you a little look at that. Look at that. 22nd down to 28 because 28 is all we had lined up for the second moto. As Brad gets squarely down, he goes, and that's going to give KFC the lead. Just like that. Aaron is not close enough to get by him. So your points leader into the lead here once again, trying to get his 4th moto win of the year, unless he won moto number 1. Don't know the moto number 1 results. We'll see him eventually. Probably won't end stream until they get popped up on my MXB, but we'll have to wait and see. As looks like Jay Gianni has gotten Aaron, so we're going to head back to that battle. As there's Aaron making some mistakes. He has more cuts, 2 more seconds, and here comes Jay Gianni to make the pass into P3. Already has him on timing and scoring. He already moved Aaron out of the way once. See if he tries again. No, he's just going to beat him with pure speed. Crubbin, trying to close the door, was not far enough ahead to do it, so he's going to go the long way around. Aaron has to drive down the inside. Going outside, Jay Gianni absolutely slams the door on him, sends him off the track. Down goes Aaron because of it. So Jay Gianni taking no prisoners, absolutely closing the door, sending anyone flying to try to take the line that he wants. And KFC is down, not out of the lead. He had a big gap. He had looked about 6 seconds, but now these two are back to fighting. As Brad now has 2 seconds, so it is whoever beats who on track is going to win the moto here. As KFC tucks the front end, so Brad back into lead just like that. KFC had the lead for about a lap and a half here before he ended up tossing it away. Now Jay Gianni's a little closer than they would probably like. So just got to keep an eye on that. So we are going to see if KFC can reel him back in or if Brad makes another mistake. So you're just waiting and watching. Got 4 minutes and 2 laps left, so roughly about 4 laps, probably, maybe 5. So things are heating up here in the final moto of the night in the 250 class. We go. This is the same spot that KFC crashed last lap. Both of them are able to avoid it. I think KFC had to square up a little bit, so not the best drive for him. So keeping an eye on this. See how close Gianni can close in by the end of this. He's been kind of on a charge. So let's see. So Brad is crossing the line at 2:05. His last lap was a 2:09 and a 2:08. So there might be 3 laps to go depending on how quick these guys take this lap. These are going to be... there's Aragon sitting on the side. Let him go. Good on him. Good lapper. It's either going to be 3 laps to go or 4. Sorry, 2 laps to go or 3 laps to go. Well, right now, yeah, never mind. Right now it's going to be 3 or 4 laps to go, so it depends on how quickly they go around the racetrack. Or if Brad has enough of a gap, if he lets up a little bit to make it 2 to go. Which I don't think he has enough gap where he wants to do that before the finish. So he just has to ride through it and hope that they don't cross before time expires. KC wants them to not get it. Unfortunately, I don't know the Moto 1 scores. Gianni, he raced in Supercross. He's been banned for the past 2 months, and this is his first race back. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't know Moto 1 scores. Nobody streams in the 250 class. So, and by the time I joined, apparently the results were all a little messed up because it had a couple guys that weren't there. It had none of these guys up there except for maybe Brad, but I think it was a little messed up. We're just going to figure it out. We're not going to know the overall until after the race. But we will know who wins the moto. Probably start having Ryan upload the first motos to my MXP. That way I could use those. But they're lapping Nico of AEO. Time has expired, so it's 2 to go here for Brad. And Murder retired out of P10 with 2 laps to go. Ooh, Brad, hold on to her. Almost that kicker. I think we have lost KFC. We have. He's gone down back there. And here comes Gianni to get on by him into P2. He goes. So just like that, KFC goes from a shot at winning to having to fight for his P2 on the box here. On the moto. But he has Gianni right ahead of him. KFC holding on strong here. Gianni is right there. He's lapping Nico. And it's Ollie Roy, so it's not Brad like I thought. KFC gets on by. Coming up to take the white flag is Brad, your defending champion. And it would be if he could hold on. That is not Brad, thankfully. If he can hold on, it'll be his first moto win of the year, unless he won Moto 1. Like I said, we cannot. Oh, yeah, I was there. I was watching. I saw you out there. So you're battling. Oh, yeah. And it is the white flag here. Damn, that looks blue. But all right. Lighting. But final lap here for Brad. Seeing if he could hold on against Jay Gianni and KFC. He's going to go far outside here. Misses the kicker. I don't know what happened to Nico. He was like top 10 guy, maybe a couple top 5s here and there, but fortunately, I think the pace just isn't in the sand. Got Ethan a moto option, taking the same line as Brad, slowing him down just a tiny bit, but not enough for Jay Gianni to close on in. Same with KFC. Brad's still having to deal with lappers. This is Vix, who is 14th on the racetrack right now. Moving him out of the way. So coming through the final few corners here. S has to hold on. He has a 10-second gap over Jay Gianni, who I think went down, so KFC is now ahead of him. Going to have to keep an eye on this. I don't know if this will affect the overall or not, but just keep an eye on that on timing and scoring. As we're making sure Brad can get through lappers as he's having trouble. There's Nacho, who was up in the top 5 early on in the race. Down here in P13 at the moment. Or looks like he will finish there. Brad coming around the final corner. Keep an eye on timing and scoring. Those guys are close back there. See them side by side. Jay Gianni takes the line away. We're going to come here. But Brad's going to cross the line. We're going to keep an eye on this. Brad is going to win his first moto of the year. The defending champ gets it done here at Southwick in moto number 2. But these guys are fighting hard and close. KFC looking down the inside. Can he get the drive? He can't. Jay Gianni slides out, and he beats him across the line. It's going to be P2 for Jay Gianni, P3 for KFC. What the hell is that? I have never seen that graphic on the leaderboard, but all right. Might be just where these guys have been all race, but Nico crossed the line with Ollie Roy right behind him in being lapped down. As we are watching Aaron now finish P4, he is 42 seconds down from these guys. 46 by the end of it. No run Marco's RFX or Zyre, as he wants to name him. I think he obviously changed his name because being called Zyre, sponsored by ZyreFX, and that's a little weird. But hey, they are the proud sponsors of the stream, so go on check them out. I've said it multiple times. I got their Discord is going on through the chats for you guys, so should be there just for you guys. You got Zepia coming across P6. AJ is going to come across line P7 with Carter's going to cross line just ahead of him, but AJ is going to get him after cuts. We have Redo here. And so on and so forth. All right. So you're watching everyone cross the line. I will see if results are posted. Well, they aren't going to be posted, duh. Let me actually, it's a quick way to find some 458 results. Let me tune into a Lin stream. Oh, Lin's got a Pete. Oh, Lin's. Okay. Cam, P1 overall. Lin's P2 overall by 1 point. And then TJ, nope, TJ, damn. So Linz is going to get P3 overall because TJ going 1-5 is going to beat his 3-2. So it's going to be. All right. 205 something was cut off. See if they're uploaded. I doubt it. Oh. Okay. So 250 Moto 1 was Brad, KSC, Murda, Marco, Jay Gianni. So it was Brad, your overall winner. KSC P2 and Jay Gianni P3. Yeah. So Linz. So all three of them tied. Linz, TJ, Cam tied for 450s P1, but it's going to be Cam, Linz, TJ in the order. Okay. So let me swap over to this. That will get you guys to see the race results. So this was Moto 1 results for 250s. Blah, blah, blah. Froxy got 7th, so he's absolutely shit in the bed in the points. But Brad with the perfect 1-1 day. Gaining 8 points on KFC. Which put him at 49 back, I do believe. I could be completely wrong on that. Math is hard. Jay Gianni, 3rd overall. Marco Zarefex, 4th. Aaron of SKR, 5th overall. Froxy lost 15 points to KSC. And we're going to go to the 451. And this is the overall, if you want to see, this is race number 2 that we didn't watch. It was Cam, Linz, Troy, Caden, TJ, then JS7, Breezy, Reed, Jake, and Davey, your top 10. So on and so forth, all the way down to everyone that did not finish. Which was, I think, from Frank on down, maybe from Meeks. Who knows? Then we go over to the overall standings. Cam, Linz, TJ all tied. That is the order for your top 3 in the podium. Then Jake got 4th, JS7 5th, Trojan 6th, tied with Breezy and Reed. Then Braden 9th and Robo 10th. So that is your overall finishes. Let me see if points is up a day to it around a 6. I should probably refresh these things. Boom. Points are updated. As a matter of fact, cool. Not for 450s for some reason. You gotta be shitting me. Okay, they are in this. All right. So Cam still has a 50-point lead because every time him and TJ are tying for some unknown reason, they always decide to tie on this shit. Lynn's still 3rd. He has almost a 20-point gap, 19 to Trojan. and it is 20 to TJ still, since they all tied. So your top 3 in points tied. So they gapped everyone else, but they didn't gain on each other. Then Troy and Boy, Jake, Davey, Callum, Neon, and HM still your top 10. So then we go to the 250 class. It is KFC now has a 47-point lead over Froxy, and it is 49 to Brad. Then Aaron is 53, and then it is 68 to Marco. So that is your top 5 in points. Looks like Brad is a goat in sand. Just has figured out everywhere else to close back in. But like I said, 49 back when he was 57 to start the day. So he's closing in slowly, but I don't think it is enough. He has 5 rounds to go. I will see you all next week in Millville. Thank you guys for showing up. We will be watching 250s first next week and 450 second moto. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you for other guys on YouTube and on Twitch. Peace out. I'll see you all for Millville next Friday. Peace and good luck to all y'all in the NA side of things.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing.